Investigators say they do have thousands of new directions to pursue as they sort through a flood of fresh leads that they have poured in. Law enforcement also revisited key areas today, with neighbors reporting a larger police presence in the area just outside of Tucson.
And as we look at an aerial shot, this is from our drone, of FBI agents walking the roadway. Looks like they're looking to the side for anything that might have been thrown out of a car. There may be more video on the way.
The federal agents were back at it Wednesday, first at Annie Guthrie's house, where they were seen leaving with a paper bag of presumed evidence and checking the mailbox. A few hours later, law enforcement recanvassed Nancy's yard. Investigators also located a pair of black gloves on the side of the road Wednesday, less than 2 miles from where the 84-year-old vanished.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Thanks to some systematic searching and credible police work, it looks like the cops now have the perp's DNA. And just look how close to the road the glove was discovered. This is just 1.5 miles from Nancy's home, and its location will also give an indication now of the abductor's route out of the area. The 1.5 miles also suggests the perpetrator isn't a direct neighbor, even though he is likely a local. It also makes one wonder whether the vehicle stopped here and if there was a struggle in the vehicle. Remember, it was the middle of the night and Nancy was hurt and likely not a willing passenger in the vehicle. It also makes one wonder how many people were in the vehicle. Could it really have been just one? Surely you would have needed someone to subdue and take control of Nancy while someone else drove the vehicle. According to the New York Post, FBI agents have recovered a black glove from a roadside near Nancy Guthrie's house, potentially a major clue in the search for the masked thug who is suspected of abducting the 84-year-old woman. Yes, this does appear to be a dead ringer for the glove worn by the abductor. Is that really a pair of gloves? Is it one glove? It actually does look like it could be two. Now, tossing the pair of gloves out of his window, if that's what he did, was another boo-boo from the amateur playbook. According to the Post, detectives found the clothing item which resembles the pair worn by the armed perpetrator caught on video about 1.5 miles from the home of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother. Well, if they are able to obtain DNA from the gloves, perhaps not only the perp's DNA, but Nancy's as well, or even traces of pollen from those flowers the perp snatched up beside the porch, well, this could definitively prove this was one of the gloves worn by our amateur crook. From the actual glove, they might also be able to locate the vendor who sold these gloves to our crook as well. According to WHSV.com, on Tuesday, federal investigators released the footage which shows an armed individual tampering with a camera on Nancy Guthrie's front door. The video shows the suspect wearing a ski mask and black gloves walking slowly to the front porch. Now, he certainly didn't come armed with something like a plastic bag or some duct tape to cover over the lens. And because he spends so much time in front of the camera, the crook will really need to get rid of all the clothing he wore, boots and all, lest the cops come smashing down doors and find these clothing items, any of them, in the crook's possession. Meanwhile, remember the dude the cops detained? Well, according to WHSV.com, after he was released, Palazuela spoke with KOLD about his detainment. He claimed he didn't know why it happened and said he just wanted to clear his name. Something I didn't do, he said. I know it's their job to do what they are doing, but to an innocent man? I think they don't have evidence against me, so I don't even know how they got to me. That's not a very confident defense. I think they don't even have evidence against me. Well, now they do have evidence which will either implicate Carlos or exonerate him, as well as any and every other suspect identified. This too is real progress. Incidentally, did you know the cops haven't officially cleared Carlos, even though they did release him? Nanos said there were more factors leading to Palazuelos' detainment than just a tip, but could not expand on them. He said no one, including Palazuelos, has been ruled out as part of the investigation. Now, according to the same news source, WHSV.com, Andy Black, a former FBI assistant special agent in charge in Tucson, said that a magistrate wouldn't just provide a search warrant to search Carlos's home merely on a whim. Black said a magistrate would not sign off on a search warrant based solely on physical appearance. I do not believe a magistrate would sign off on a search warrant to enter someone's residence and conduct a search based on eyebrows and a mustache, Black said. I think there must be more evidence if that's what they were looking for, tying this location to the Guthrie investigation. Now we can see that each day, each hour, each minute, the noose is tightening. The cops are zeroing in on who did this. If Nancy's still alive, she needs to hold on. Help is coming. Help is on the way.
Cameras at the Guthrie house, and maybe those back channel storage areas with Google Nest might bear some fruit, or maybe there's other cameras like traffic cameras or something else along the way.
Resembling those seen worn by the perpetrator in that chilling surveillance video. Video officials say generated more than 4,000 new tips in just the last 24 hours.
This is what you want. You want the public's help in this, because I've said it over and over again for years. The police can't be everywhere, but the public can be.
A picture of somebody wearing a mask or something, and they supposedly look like my eyes.
Right. Okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
Okay.
While about 60 miles south of Tucson in Rio Rico, Arizona, on the way to the southern border,
I was detained the whole time.
Okay.
That's
Where?
what they told me.
Where were they
At
holding
the
you?
back of a car.
Back of a car.
Miranda car, and then they moved me into a Pima County Sheriff.
Carlos Palazuelos, a delivery driver, says he was the man detained Tuesday night by investigators following a traffic stop. His family says their home was searched.
We were able to execute lawful searches and go to these private sector companies and expedite results, and then go into their systems and actually excavate material that people would think would normally be deleted and no one would look for. Thanks to this brilliant partnership, we were able to get it out, sharpen it with our technical capabilities at the FBI, and put it out to the world.
It may well be one of those 4,000 tips is going to lead to the actual suspect in this case. Well, the clock is ticking and time will tell. Not going to take it further than that. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.